Welcome to the Redefine Podcast.
All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about limitations again. Limitations. It's a conversation that we're going to continue to have, because it's something that we can't completely, I don't think, free ourselves from. Right? It's all about redefining and creating definitions that can, at the very least, take you to the next stage and the next phase of your growth. Before I get into that, however, I want to remind you, sorry, brain fart there. I want to remind you that the seminar is this Saturday, April 1st at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Network Marketing in the Digital Age. I'm going to be just pulling the curtain back and exposing everything that's been happening in the network marketing community, in the network marketing profession, all the things, the influences that have contributed to why the network marketing profession is the way it is right now, and what you can do in this digital age to kind of make sure you adapt and evolve and then thrive within in the next 5 to 10 years. Sorry, another brain fart. You can register at ronniecruz.com/seminar. I'll leave the link in the show notes of this episode. And this is actually pertinent to today's topic of limitations, because what I'm seeing is, and I talked about this the other day when in the episode of Dire, Desperate Times, Call for Desperate Measures. The reason why you ever end up in desperate measures is because you haven't let go of the current set of definitions that you've been working by, right? And again, definitions are needed, and I'm not saying that limitations aren't necessarily a bad, or limitations are necessarily a bad thing, or some things that we can't. That we can operate without, right? Our brains need definitions. Our brains need constructs to make sense of the world. It's just that when we get too attached to those constructs, it locks us into a very fixed point, very fixed outcomes. And so when it comes to limiting beliefs, and when it comes to these definitions and these meanings, in network marketing especially, there are some things that are really, really holding us back. And again, this is what a lot of what I'm going to talk about in the seminar on Saturday. But just in general, like when you're setting your goals, when you're casting a vision for your life or your business or your health or relationships, whatever it might be, you got to ask yourself: are you doing that with conditions? Right? Are you setting goals conditionally? Are you setting your dreams conditionally? Like you have to have these conditions, and this is what it means that when I achieve this dream. If you do that, then you're always going to be limited in the things that you can create in your life. For example, health. Right? Health. This is where, this is a great example, because a lot of people set conditions on their health goals. I'm, this particular age, or, I have this particular genetics or family history. And so I can only aim for X, Y, and Z health goal, or X, Y, and Z fitness goal. Oh, you know what? I'm not a spring chicken anymore, so I can't, be as fit as some of these health influencers that I see on Instagram, whatever the situation might be, right? My thing is, if you want to get healthy, and don't put any conditions on it, right? Really just continually work towards expanding your definition of yourself, redefine every 3 to 6 months, so that you can, it's a continual growth process, as opposed to, okay, these are the parameters in which I can grow. Once you hit it, and then what, right? Don't set limits. Set temporary mile markers, but don't set limits, right? Don't set limits, because limits are going to be the thing that will end up being the cap to your growth in whatever sector it is that you're trying to change, in whatever aspect of life, whether, again, it's your health, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your business. Setting limitations and operating within existing definitions and boundaries will limit your outcomes all day long. And again, that's okay if that's the phase where you're at. But if you refuse to let go of those things and then redefine so that you can move into a new phase and expand into a new phase, then you're always going to be limited to the same results you've been getting. Right? So be willing to redefine. That is at the essence what this principle is all about. Constantly redefining so that you can constantly and continually expand. right? So redefine your limitations every 3 to 6 months. Always check in, and you'll be surprised the things that you'll be able to do. You really will be. You really will be. We're limited only by our thinking. Really, the outcomes that we achieve in life are only limited by our thinking, and so be willing to continually redefine. All right, so that's my message for today. Again, if you haven't registered for this seminar, it's this important. These are the kind of conversations we're going to be having this weekend. So register. Even if you can't make it, it's going to be on Saturday, April 1st at 1 p.m. Register anyway, because then you'll have access to the replay, right? You'll have access to the replay, and that will be available for 48 hours after the seminar, right? So it's ronniecruz.com/seminar. The link will be in the show notes. Other than that, yeah, set your mind free. Remember the movie Matrix, there is no spoon, right? There is no spoon. So dogs are barking. I gotta go. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you tomorrow with a fresh new episode. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.